Welcome to Flash Frights. You're listening to the Fan2Fan Podcast. Flash Frights.
You're listening to the Fan2Fan Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Bernie Gonzalez. With me, as always, fellow co-host Pete Charbonneau. And Pete, we have not hidden very well our love for slasher flicks. And in spooky season, it's fair to say that horror slashers end up in heavy rotation in our to-watch lists, in our queues, because they're fun, they're escapist. We grew up with the golden age of slashers in the 80s with Freddy and Michael and Jason. And it's always fun, especially in an era that has all of those movies to reference to, where you can get sort of a different take on the slasher film. And I think specifically when it's done not as an American production, but rather by a production from another country that's looking at all the tropes of slashers and decides to also bring in cultural elements and things that we don't normally see. And that just throws us a little bit of a curveball when it comes to slashers. And those are sometimes a lot of fun. Case in point, 2023's
Swedish slasher horror flick, The Conference.
Hey, have you seen this? Today's agenda? Environmental
Playing your
goals?
sixth string tonight, Torbjorn?
Yeah, but I haven't played in a long time.
Guns N' Roses.
What are we going to do about this?
I understand. I am so sorry.
Look, I mean, you can't have a conference facility without Wi-Fi.
No,
No.
but we can't.
No, you can't.
No, but we have it. I said we have Wi-Fi. It just disconnects occasionally. But Ingrid, we'll sort it out. Roy, your stop. Go fix the internet.
Again?
Yes.
You're joking.
Hurry up.
Again?
Go now.
Okay.
And in short, you basically have a bunch of employees going out to a conference, kind of like in the middle of nowhere, not only to get to know each other, but it seems like they have a big benchmark that they just met with their company. And the first part where you get to kind of see all the quirky characters, the ass kisser, the person who obviously does like 90% of the work and kind of keeps the place afloat. And you get to meet these people, and then they meet a person that's doing like team building activities, trust falls and rappelling activities that some of them are all in for and other of them like could not be bothered to be a part of. What you start realizing is they start really smartly sprinkling the fact that this company is essentially building a massive housing development, and the property that they bought from a farmer that is now going to be developed into perfect community that has the pool and the playgrounds and is meticulously kept up is essentially because this deal that was made with this farmer that all of them believe just happened to give them the land at a hell of a deal. But you find out that the farmer took his life, and that maybe what the events of this housing development and how it's coming to be are not as advertised. And the employees that are interested in figuring out, like, are we paying the farmer what he's owed because of what we're building? And it really, I think, starts getting into a little bit of the questions that I think we have now about like the role of corporations and how much power they have. Amongst all of that is a really good slasher film. And all of a sudden you get this guy who is essentially dressed up as the mascot of this housing development, and he's going around with an axe killing people. It starts kind of playing off as a mystery because they introduce these people and you just know like somehow one of these people is the killer. What are their motivations? What's behind it? You start getting into the fact that one of the employees is starting to uncover the fact that maybe this deal didn't materialize the way it should have, but it's got a lot of tongue-in-cheek humor because I think they realized very quickly we basically have a mascot running around killing people. So let's lean into the fact that this is ridiculous. So there's a little bit of a black humor. I think for that alone, it's a very self-aware Swedish horror film that seems to have its pulse on like modern day questions about corporations and buildings and rights and land and how that all works. The slasher stuff was so well done. The movie just looks so good. Great acting. Highly recommend it. And if you have Netflix, throw it into queue, especially in October. You won't be disappointed.
Interesting. I have not even heard of that before. So, yeah, thank you for kind of just springing that one out. Do they do, is there like that tonal shift? Like, does it start out as kind of like your kind of watching one type of movie and then like the slasher portion hits? Is it like do like that tonal shift, or is it more just kind of there from the start?
I think it stays consistent because you get these employees in a retreat. And I think because they did such a good job establishing who these people are, and it answers all those questions. Well, why don't they just get on a cell phone and call the police? Well, because they're at a retreat where they're trying to build confidence and trust. So they've collected all the cell phones and they don't have cell phone access. And all the events take place within a matter of a few hours. So it keeps the intensity up. It almost feels like you're watching it in real time. The reveal made sense. Some movies like this kind of don't stick the landing, or they kind of telegraph it. And you're like, yeah, it really is less about that. It really is more like the execution of the kills and the slashing. This is cool. Like I could certainly see how this could turn into like a franchise, but it seems like it's a franchise that is still trying to say something and not just trying to kill a bunch of teenagers.
Interesting. Is it in Swedish or with English subtitles, or is it in English?
All the above. It does falter from the, I think, Netflix globalization issue where they're like, hey, this is so good. How good is it? Let's bring an English cast to completely redub everything. And I think like most of movies like this, you can probably do it for a little bit, but then you start realizing that it just doesn't sound or feel right. So you just have to go to the subtitles. You just need to hear these people talk in their own language to really make it work. So if you can't deal with subtitles, they give you the option. I just know I don't know that I would recommend it.
But I would recommend the movie overall. 2023's The Conference. If you've already watched all of your Nightmares on Elm Street, Halloween's, and Friday the 13th films, throw this one in. I don't think you'll be disappointed.